Okay, great. We are live. Thanks, Deepak, for joining us today. And
Thank you.
what I thought was, yeah. So what I thought was for the next, few minutes, like we talk a bit, and like till all of the guys in the room turn up, right? So I can already see that some of the attendees are coming, right? And yeah, so the attendees pool will over the next 2 to 3 minutes increase, right? And till then, yeah, so till then, guys, I would like to tell all of you that like UpGrad has started this career week exercise that we would like to call it, specifically for working professionals, right? Where we have had more than 20 plus events, both online as well as offline workshops happening in Mumbai as well as Bangalore, and online as well, right? And these events are primarily focused on helping working professionals like yourself across data analytics, across digital marketing, as well as product management, to understand your current career position, the transition opportunities that are available, the skill gaps that might be there which you might want to grow upon, etc. Right. Along with this, the career week also has free content around careers that we have created after a lot of research, where we give you a detailed understanding of the different career landscapes that are available, right? So for example, uh, yeah, so for example, if there are like what kind of jobs are there available, what are the top digital roles, etc., right? So you can definitely look at the content of the career week as well. So as a part of this career week, right, we have with us today Deepak sir, Deepak Kanakraju, right? And I know that a lot of you already know Deepak, right? And he has taken the time out to basically tell us a bit about the transitions that are happening, right? And that can potentially happen, because I'm sure a lot of you are aware of the recent layoffs that are happening, right? And it's really scary across the board, right? But at the same time, I think it's like an awakening call in 2017, that it's time that you look for emerging roles and opportunities and in new industries, right? So this is me. I'm Neil from UpGrad. I basically look at marketing as well as product and growth in UpGrad. And we have today with us Deepak Kanakraju. Deepak sir has his very successful, blog, and I wouldn't just want to call it a blog. It's become, like a company and enterprise where he's actually training and like helping like lakhs of professionals as well as digital marketers become more adept at digital, right? So today we'll be talking about the webinar topic, which is transitioning from IT to digital. So Deepak sir, thanks a lot for coming here today. I hope we you can hear us, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
please tell us. Yeah. So thanks a lot for coming today, and over to you.
Oh, thanks a lot, Neil, for the wonderful introduction. And glad to be here. And we seem to have quite a lot of attendees watching this live right now. So what I will do is that get straight into the meat of it and share my screen. So I will do a presentation for half an hour, and then over to you, and then we will go on to Q&A as well. And for people who are watching this video and staying until the end of the webinar, I'm going to have a surprise gift for you. So I'm going to basically give out something which is worth 500 rupees for free who are live right now on this webinar. So let's get started. Let me share my screen. Yeah, so I guess we are live with the right now. So this is the presentation, and guys, let's get started. So from IT to digital marketing. So this in this presentation, mostly going to talk about how to shift your career from IT to digital marketing, but it also applies to people who are in any other field, not just IT. IT consumes a big chunk of people who are working right now who want to shift to digital marketing, but it doesn't matter whether you are in college and want to shift. It doesn't matter whether you are in sales and want to shift to digital marketing. we will more or less talk about how to get into digital marketing into a good job. So the focus will be more on people who are already having a few years of work experience, but it will also apply to people who are new, right? So here I'm not going to sell digital marketing because if you are right now in this webinar, you already realize that digital marketing is the next big thing. So I'm not going to talk about the kind of money that goes into digital marketing. If you want to just have one number, that would be for 2017. Google itself has said that the total investment in digital marketing will be $1 billion. That's 6,500 crores being invested in digital channels in just 2017, right? And it's just in India, not globally. So India is growing very fast, and if you look at the internet penetration growth, so you know that there is a huge opportunity in digital marketing. But let's focus on how to capitalize, on this opportunity and how we can be part of this entire digital wave. That's what we are going to talk about. So if you are already in a job and if you have a few years of work experience, your biggest challenge in getting into the digital marketing field would be that you will not be able to match or exceed your current CTC that easily. So I will also talk about how you can get around this. That's one of the most important things. See, for freshers can join as interns. You can join as junior social media executive or anything like that, which is pretty much similar to the starting salary of IT companies. And freshers, people who are just out of college, they can live with friends. They don't have a family. They don't have a lot of commitments or EMIs. You can afford to experiment with your life for a few years and then gain some experience and interest in one particular area, and then you can get into a senior digital marketing positions easily. But people who are already working and people who want to shift to digital marketing, this is going to be the biggest challenge that you are going to face. And one of the most important things that I want to tell in this webinar is that don't undersell yourself. So I see a lot of people who are in IT fields, maybe sales with 3 years, 5 years, 7 years work experience, and they think that I can go ahead and join as a junior digital marketing executive, take a cut in the salary, and then maybe work for a year or two, and then go ahead and your salaries will increase. So don't undersell yourself. Never accept a CTC which is less than your current CTC, even if you are in IT or sales or even for that matter civil engineering or mechanical engineering fields. Why I'm saying is that, see, interns or fresh juniors who are going to be in the salary range of, let's say, 3 lakhs per annum, which is like 25,000 a month or something like that, they are a whole different breed together, right? And companies actually prefer that kind of juniors to join them and work with them because they are people who are like open to criticism, and the energy levels that they have will be different. So even if you are ready to work for a low salary to learn, the general bias that most of the CEOs and founders have against people who are a bit senior in position but are ready to take a cut in salary is that the general perception is that they think that you are a loser, even if you might not be, even if you are ready to go ahead. That's the general perception that they have. Most of the cases they don't give you a job, or these are companies who are not doing very well and they are just trying to hire you at a very low cost. You might not get good experience in those companies, and they will be basically trying to see what they can get out of you, and it will not be good for your career. So don't undersell yourself. And I think if you think yourself, I know that there is a part of you which believes that you should not undersell yourself. So this is just a reiteration. This is not something new, but just a reiteration and a validation that yes, if a part of you thinks that you should not undersell, then don't do it. So how do you get around this? So how do you get to a senior digital marketing position directly? I will also talk about what are all the different digital marketing positions that are available in the market. I have a flowchart in the later slides. Or let me just quickly show you that flowchart, and then we can get back to the previous slide. So this is how a digital marketing structured inside an organization. This is a rough outline, but you get the idea. See, in a very small startup, it's the CEO or the co-founder. One of the co-founders will take care of marketing, and he will be pretty much taking care of entire digital marketing activity. So all the titles that you see here from the digital marketing manager section, so these are in big companies, individual job profiles which you can have. And so basically there will be a social media manager, then SEO specialist, search engine marketer, inbound marketing manager, content marketing manager, who will report to the digital marketing manager, and digital marketing manager will in turn report to the VP or head of marketing and sales. But this entire flowchart is fluid, in the sense, if you are looking at a smaller startup or a mid-stage startup, you are basically looking at CEO and VP or head of marketing and sales as a single person. And then there will be a digital marketing manager who will pretty much be, all these things. I have been in such roles. And then slowly, as the company grows, as the marketing team grows, you will start splitting the responsibilities into separate people. So all the boxes that you see here are responsibilities, not separate people. Depending on the size of the company, multiple responsibilities will be taken care of by one person. Or if it is a very big company, one box will have actually have multiple people. Like, for a very big enterprise, you could have 5 content writers in the same company, right? So this is what we see here. And if you want to get into a senior digital marketing position directly, without trying to climb the corporate ladder all the way, starting from beginning, what you need to do right now is that stick with your current job, join a course like UpGrad, or there are a lot of free resources on the internet. Go learn all those free resources, and then go ahead and start a project on the side and grow that project. So a blog or a small e-commerce website is a good idea. And ironically, my own website, Digital Deepak, was started because I wanted to enhance my resume, and I wanted my resume to look better compared to 2 or 3 other resumes which apply for a digital marketing manager job in other companies. That's how I started. But it is underrated of starting, is very underrated, right? If you get started, then there will be definitely some momentum, but most of the people don't get started, right? Like, for example, if you think that you want to slim down, you want to increase your fitness, you think a lot about joining the gym. Let's say there are 100 people in this webinar. If you, let's say, out of any 100 people, let's say, uh, there will be probably 10 or 20 people who will actually go and join a gym. But if at all you join, if at all you pay for a gym, there are very good chance that you will at least visit the gym once in a week or twice in a week at least, and there will be some fitness. But most of the people don't even get around to joining the gym, right? So it's something like that. You need to get started with the project, and don't try to get very complex about it. After this webinar ends, if you haven't started a project of your own yet, go register a domain name, go install WordPress, post your first article today. It is as simple as that. It would take you 30 minutes, but you are probably feeling like it's impossible or something like that. So to give you a small analogy, if you are going from here to a restaurant or something like that, you are going out, and basically the mindset that you have, a lot of people have right now, is that with starting their own project or starting something on the side, it's like you are going out and you are waiting to start your car until all the signals turn green. So it's impractical, right? It never happens in real life. You just go to the next signal, wait for the green. Maybe in the next signal there is a green already, you just cross, and then that's how you keep going. Or if you want me to tell another analogy, if you are driving from Bangalore to Mumbai and you can't see the entire road from Bangalore to Mumbai, but you can see the entire city in front of you. If you get to that 100 feet because the road is getting illuminated, right? So it's like that. So you just get started, register a domain. Maybe this is not your permanent project, it's a temporary sidekick. And then you can, maybe if you are serious, you can start go register some other domain or anything like that, right? So start a blog or a small e-commerce website. There are many plugins like WordPress, Shopify. It's very easy. And then you have a platform where you can start experimenting your digital marketing skills with. Go ahead and learn all the modules in digital marketing from various training programs or for free from the internet. Learn SEO, learn social media marketing, email marketing, and everything, and start applying it to your own project. And this gives you two things. One is that you are actually learning, and also uh, you get this proof that you have actually did something, and that is far more valuable than a certification or a line in the resume that you have completed these courses. See, nobody hires you for the information that you have. People hire you for what you can do, and action takers are what is scarce in the world today, right? will you be a self starter? Will you get things done? That is more important. And when people hire you, if they see that you have done your own personal project, it is a proof that you actually get things done. You start things and get things done, and that's what people hire you for. People don't want knowledge anymore. Knowledge is available on Wikipedia with a click of a button, just or YouTube, just a few clicks. Anyone has wants knowledge, has knowledge. What they want is actionable experience and action takers. And this is a very good example of you having the capability to get some action done. And also you need to show off some of your expertise. If you are not, so you can do both of these things: start your own personal project, and then you can write about what you did in your personal project on publications like Your Story, Entrepreneur, etc. If you have your own blog where you have some quality articles, try to reach out to these publications, show them your existing articles, and they will be happy to accept you as a guest author. So I have published a lot of articles on Your Story and Entrepreneur. If you can't get accepted in these publications, then there are a lot of smaller publications which will accept guest post. So you can put these things on your resume, and you can basically write about your own experience, right? And what next I would like you to do is that, now that we have talked about learning digital marketing, which most of the people can do, then we are talking about starting your own project where you can do some project of your own, which could be like a website, or which could be like a blog or e-commerce store, which not everybody will do, right? When you take a random sample of 100 people, and when you think about how many of them will take action, then it will be probably like 10% or 20%. And that, if at all you take action, that already puts you ahead of 80% or 90% of the people who are trying to shift from IT to digital marketing, right? So 90% of your competition is already eliminated because you have taken action. Next, once you have done this, prepare a list of companies that you would like to work for, and then you go ahead and find some low hanging fruits on their website. There could be some SEO errors. There are several free SEO analysis tools on the internet. If you want to do an SEO audit, find out the SEO errors on their site, find out mistakes, like it could be typos or anything like that on social media properties, etc. Everyone does mistakes, so there is no perfect website. There will always be some small errors happening on the website. Go ahead and create a one page report. Don't spend too much time on it. You could work, like, once you have list of, let's say, 10 companies that you want to work for, then you can go ahead and spend half an hour on each of these websites, develop a small report, and then mail out this report to the CEO or VP of marketing or CMO or head of sales, whoever is probably the person who is going to take a decision to hire you. Mail it out to them, and then also reach out on Twitter, because if you mail it, see, all these guys are busy, right? They will probably not respond to you or pay attention to you initially. But mail it, and then reach out on Twitter, and then most importantly, tag the company, and also tag the other co-founder or the senior people in the management. So just tweet that, hey, so and so, I have found some SEO errors on your website, please have a look. I have emailed it to you, and tag all the other people. So what happens is that, let's say there is a VP of marketing or a CMO, and you are mailing it to him. He or she has uh, the capability to ignore it. But if you also have tweeted about it and tweeted the CEO and the company and everything, so what the CMO feels is that the others have also taken notice. So if the company is actually looking for a digital marketing job, the CEO or the HR, it's everyone's headache. They're definitely going to talk about it inside the company. Hey, this guy tweeted, did you receive a mail or something like that? So here you are putting some pressure on the CMO or the VP or whoever is responsible for hiring you, or putting some pressure on them to actually pay attention to your application. See, most of the time, applications don't get processed not because the applications are do not have merit. It's because these senior guys don't have time to get around to it. Like, there are so many issues inside each and every company that there is always a list of tasks to be done, and it never ends. So here what you can do is that, not wait for until they actually get around to it. You basically move it up their priority list. So if you do this, and if you don't get a response, do the second time or third time, you will definitely get a response. And you will be inside their radar, even if they are not ready to hire someone immediately. If they are hiring someone 2 months, 3 months down the line, you will definitely be on top of their mind. As marketers, you have to first market yourself, right? You don't need to spend time blogging like me, writing 1,000 word articles, twice a week or anything like that. You don't need to spend that much time, but just market to your target customers. Your target customers are the people who are trying to hire you, right? Just stay on top of their mind, have top of the mind recall, develop a good brand in front of them, and then the sale will happen, which is basically you getting hired, right? So this is something that you have to do, and before you reach this stage, definitely you need confidence in yourself that you are a good digital marketer. That confidence will come only when you learn and do. Learning is not enough, you have to do it as well, apply it. And I have talked about this several times on several occasions in my ebooks, in my blog post and everything. So next slide. This is something we already discussed. CEOs and founders want action takers, not necessarily someone with full of knowledge. Another thing that you can do is that take a printout of this report or write a covering letter and mark it to the CEO or to the VP of marketing, whoever is a decision maker. Don't go ahead and print it out and stick it on the envelope. I'm asking you to go ahead and take a printout of the report, put it on an envelope, and write it using your hand, like a handwritten note. And don't give any idea what this is about. Don't put any subject or don't put anything on the top. Just write private and confidential if you want to add some jazz to it, but then handwrite the entire to address it to the decision maker, and actually send it as a postal mail. People are actually excited to have something on the post nowadays, but most of the post that comes is like bills and bank statements is what comes in the post nowadays, which is also reduced. But these banks and bills always have a printed to address on top, which kind of feels like spam for them anyway. So handwritten note, I'm saying this is like 100% 100% open rate. Email today we get like 100% email open rate, and inside that we hardly get like 2 to 3% CTR. If you actually write a postal mail, you are going to get 100% open rate, right? They can't resist. Who sent me this? It's like handwritten. Wow. So now people are not going to ignore you, right? So you need to get their attention first. Many people think that it's very difficult to reach out to certain people, but if you are determined enough, you can definitely reach out to them. And another thing I want to share with you is that if you like a company enough and if you want the job badly enough, you will always get it if you are ready to do all the things that is required, right? So you can go ahead. See, everybody everybody who is successful in life has always faced rejection, whether it's a successful author or a successful actor or a successful marketer, whoever it is, they have always faced rejection. You have to get comfortable with rejection. And there are a lot of hacks and techniques to get comfortable with rejection. I will talk about it if we have time. But if you like a company enough, if you think you are right fit of the company, go and knock the company's doors, sit on the reception, tell that you want to meet someone. And more often than not, you will get to meet them, because these people, even though they have a lot of busy schedule, a lot of busy meetings, and they don't have time, if they get a message that someone has come to visit you, they always have this curiosity inside them that who is it who has come to visit me. They would come out and meet you, and you can just tell them that I have already mailed you, I have tried to reach out to you, but I just walked in. So so for digital Deepak, I was planning to hire some interns. I opened up an internship application and posted it on the forum, and this application got like around 330 internship applications because of the huge following I have. And I just wanted one or two interns. And who is the person I hired finally? It was the person who just walked up to my office, because I posted on the forum that I have started working out of this new co-working space. And this person just walked into the co-working space, told me that he wanted to meet me, and I just hired him. And then I hired one more intern who was also very proactive with what she did. But people want action takers, right? This shows that you are ready to go the extra mile. So if there are like 10 or 20 different applications for a digital marketing manager position or any digital marketing position, And if they have trouble deciding who they have to hire and they don't have time to review all the resumes, and if someone shows up at their office, they are obviously going to give preference for that because they have seen them, they like their enthusiasm, they have walked up to the office taking an effort, and they are ready to face rejection, right? So don't be afraid of rejection. Walk up to the office and do all these things. See, the person who wants to get the job will always get the job. See, Neil, probably around 400 people registered for this webinar, and we
Yes.
see only 120 live attendees here, which means that 75% of the people who have registered for the webinar, by the very process of registering, they have shown interest that they want to change their jobs. But the people who are live here, who are listening to me right now, you are one in four people, right? And then the people who go ahead and take action, do some side project, they are like 10 people out of the one in four people here. You just keep eliminating your competition, then you are going to turn up ahead. It's as simple as that. So there is no secret sauce, there is no secret route to get the jobs. You just need to take action, and somehow it feels very simple, but it's the simple things which actually get executed is what gets results. That is, there is no secret behind it if you are proactive enough. So talking about the first job that I got in the digital marketing field after 4 years of graduation. So obviously, I graduated in 2008, but until 2012 I was running my own project. But after 2012 I sold my project because it was not scaling very well, and I got my first job. What I did was I traveled from Salem to Bangalore to visit a digital marketing event which was called AdTech. I came to Bangalore. I went to each and every booth which was in the AdTech event, and I asked each and every one of them that do they have some openings. One company said they were interested. The senior manager gave me his business card. I sent a resume to his email ID, and then I followed up for 3 weeks, and then I got a job which was in terms of the salary package, it was equivalent to having 5 or 6 years of experience, work experience, even though I had only four. And out of those 4 years of work experience, it was my own project, right? It was my own blog which I showed to them. And then I got hired because I was ready to go that extra mile. So more than knowledge, more than certifications, more than having a knack to be a digital marketer, more than anything, taking action and moving forward and being proactive is the one single thing which will get you your dream digital marketing job. And one final thing I want to emphasize is that never go the resume HR route, which is sending resume to the HR department. Because when I talked about the method of trying to reach out to the decision makers and trying to get hired directly by them, because these are your customers, these are the guys who want you in their team, right? HR is not someone who understands the needs of the company. The CEO, founders, VP of marketing, CMOs are the ones who know what kind of digital marketer they want on their team. So in most of the cases, these job openings get filled through networks and referrals or through these methods. You try to reach out to them, and then the job opening gets filled. So if you have convinced the CMO or the CEO that you are the right person for the job, then you don't even need a resume probably. And one funny fact is that when I got hired at Razorpay, I sent my resume and I got hired. And after I got hired, after 2 weeks, I realized I spoke to the HR. You never asked me for your resume. How did you hire me? Then she said, obviously you had your profile, you had your project which you did, assignment which you did for us, and everything else. So then it was like that, right? So you don't need a resume, you don't need to send resume to the HR. So when the senior management wants to fill up a position and they are not able to fill up a position, then they tell the HR that we need to fill up this position. And 70% of the jobs get filled through networks and referrals or and through direct contacts. And by the time it goes to the HR department, see, the HR managers, nothing against them, but when they are hiring for digital marketing, they are not the best decision makers. They will probably filter out the right people and let the wrong people come for interviews, and it's a very messy process to hire. Even for companies, it's a messy process to hire people through the HR department, right? It's always not the best way. So follow all the methods that I talked about in this video. And the gift which I was talking about, some people might have already claimed it, but for people who have not claimed it, I have written a book called How to Get Your Dream Digital Marketing Job, a step by step guide to get your dream job in the digital marketing field. This cost 4.99 on Amazon. You can see it's not even 4.5 star rating. It's like complete 5 star rating. It's right there on Amazon, but here inside the chat window, I will share a link through which you can get this book for free if you have not got it yet. So let me just go inside the chat window and just share the link. So this is the link, and you can go ahead and download this ebook from it. It's not a very long ebook. It's 26 pages long. It would take you like 1 hour to reading it, but that will completely change your perspective of how to go about getting jobs. And this flowchart is something that we already shared. So yeah, that's about it. So I will hand it over to Neil. Neil, you can take it over, and then we will move on to the Q&A session where I would answer some questions.
Great, great. So like yeah, first of all, Deepak, thanks a lot, for taking, like okay. So I think a few guys are talking about the link again. Thanks a lot, Deepak, for actually sharing this link and this free resource. I think I myself actually went through this book like a few weeks back. It was very inspirational, and I would really encourage a lot of you to actually, like go ahead and read it yourself. Like me, coming from a digital marketing background, I really thought that it had a lot of insight, right? Because a lot of what we feel in our head, that like we overthink a lot of things, as Deepak said rightly, that you need to actually take some action and do it, right? So yeah, so I think that's something which is really great. I really hope all of you will actually go through that, right? uh, Yeah. So what we're going to do now quickly is that before we take the round of questions, I would definitely advise a lot of you to take these questions, like to take your questions around the session that Deepak sir right now, showcased, right? So, but before any of that, one thing which Deepak rightly said was that how do you upskill, right? And a lot of you have actually like probably gone through a lot of resources online. A lot of you have probably taken the courses up from Deepak sir's website as well, right? And I personally have taken the one as well, right? And it was really insightful with a lot of content, right? Also, with that, if any of you are interested, right, there is a 5 month PG post graduation program that UpGrad has created, right, with a lot of industry experts like Deepak sir, right, in the industry, along with MICA professionals, right? And like Deepak sir rightly mentioned, that just doing these courses and having these certificates probably don't really matter. What really matters is the practical and the applicable knowledge, right, and the things that you really do hands on. So what we have done in the program is, on top of all the content that we are teaching, right, which is extremely relevant, and it takes care of the entire digital marketing stack, right, teaching you from the fundamentals to the basics to how to look at channels for a particular business, and finally, take all of that back to a cross-channel digital marketing plan. On top of all of that, we have actually created lots of case studies as well as industry projects, right, like 20 plus to actually name it, with some live campaigns where we are actually teaching you, like giving you real money to spend, and actually helping you spend money on Facebook, Google AdWords, and display campaigns as well, so that you can actually get your hands dirty. So this is like a 5 month crisp program that we have. Post this, I will also be sharing the link of the program, right? Our registrations are there on till mid of June, right? So if any of you are interested in taking this further, that would be great, right? I think now what we would quickly do is that we will take some of the questions that you guys have had, right? So Deepak, would you want me to take some of these questions up, or have like can you take some of these up, because I think a lot of the questions are right now coming up.
Yes. So I will start with a few questions. In the meantime, you can also start curating some questions.
Great. Sure,
So
perfect.
let's have a look. So, question from Saloni, very good question. Are there enough opportunities in the market to cater to so much DM job interest? See, the thing is, there is a huge shift from traditional marketing to digital marketing. And right now, I would confidently say that there is a lot of demand because, see, after I quit my job from Razorpay in January, they have not been able to find a replacement for my role, which is digital marketing manager, until now. They interviewed a lot of candidates. They were not happy with any candidate, and they are still looking for candidate, and they are asking me to refer people, right? So see, there is always this demand supply in the economy. When the demand is more than the supply, when the demand for digital marketing jobs is more than the digital marketing experts, definitely there will be an opportunity. So right now, I see that the opportunity will be very hot for the next 3 to 5 years. After 5 years, what will happen is that I will be honest with you. I am not trying to sell you snake oil here. Because of the awareness about digital marketing, and because there are so many people coming into digital marketing right now, maybe after 5 to 6 years, there will be more digital marketers than digital marketers who are required. But it will affect the market to certain extent, in the sense it will affect only to the extent where right now people are ready to pay higher salaries for digital marketers because the demand is high and the supply is low. So after 5 years, the premium that they pay for hiring digital marketers may come down. They may not pay more industry salary or 50% industry salary. But as with any field, there will be always guys who are in demand, and there will always be guys who are required in the field. Like, for example, see right now, I'm not telling this to boast or anything, but for the kind of experience that I have in the digital marketing field and the kind of hard work that I put in, I can get 2 to 3 job offers tomorrow if I want, by just WhatsApping the CEOs who are who are known to me, right? That is, and I would be able to command more than the industry salary, and they would ask me to start working right from tomorrow, because there are a lot of CEOs who are behind me, always asking me, do you know anyone who will join? Are you ready to join? And things like that. And you understand that in any field, whether it's engineering or whether it's sales or accounting, there'll always be people who are in demand. If they are skilled enough, and if they have more skills and more personal brand than other people, then they will always be hired at a very high cost. Like, for example, recently at Razorpay, we hired a chief marketing officer when I was there. And as soon as he joined Razorpay, he was previously heading marketing at OnePlus. And as soon as he joined Razorpay, there was an article in Economic Times. See, at Razorpay, we work so hard to try to get PR coverage for Razorpay, try to come up with news stories, things like that. And just the fact of him leaving OnePlus and joining Razorpay became a news story in Economic Times. There are people like that, and there is nothing stopping you from becoming a personal brand like that. So as long as you have love and interest for digital marketing, yeah, and if you get into this field right now, it's hot, you will definitely get a job. But if you want to stay in this field for the long term and grow in your career, then obviously it's just the basics, right? In the sense, do some personal branding, develop good networks in the industry, attend events, and on top of it all, work hard and try to gain as much experience as you can. So there is no way this industry is going down. It's very hot right now, and it's one of the hottest jobs right now, especially for people who are coming from IT and sales backgrounds. And we have to admit that certain skills are only meant for certain people. Like, for example, having a very deep analytical mind and trying to become a data scientist is not something that everyone can do. And there are certain areas where you might not be able to, like, for example, if you want to get into very high end Python or Ruby on Rails coding, that is not something that we can start from scratch. But marketing and digital marketing is something that I think is many people can relate to, because right from our childhood we have seen advertisements, we have seen marketing being done to all around us, right? So if you think that this is for you, then you should go ahead with all force in it.
Great, great. So Deepak,
Yeah.
there is this one question by Suganya. Okay, and she's saying
Hmm.
that I have heard people saying that we need experience to start our career in digital marketing. Is that true? currently I am 1 year experience in sales and I want to switch to digital marketing. So can you guide us?
So that's what I said. Right now, don't try to switch immediately. Stay in sales, but use your weekends, use your free time to do some project on the side. See, in reality, when you are working in companies, and the larger the company is, the slower it moves, right? So the amount of work experience you actually have in a startup is much faster, but the amount of work experience which you have on your own project is even faster. So if you have a blog, then if you have a project, then if you work on it even part time for 3 months, I would say, as an entrepreneur, if I want to hire you and if you have worked part time on your blog for 3 months, and let's say you have more than 50 visitors a day for your blog, or let's say more than 1000 or 1500 visitors a month for your blog, and let's say if you have installed Google Analytics for free, if you have got your site indexed, if you have a Facebook page, and even if you have driven, like, let's say 100 visitors from your Facebook page back to your blog, this I would consider easily as 1 year to 2 years core experience in digital marketing. Because the thing that you have done is what you would do inside companies stretched over a period of year, because there are so many loops, so many meetings, so many decisions to take, and so many people to convince. So I would recommend that path to take. So yes, it is true that you need to show some experience before you can go ahead and get a good job, but that experience is not always required to be, having worked in a company, and having actual work experience certificate or anything like that. That's just very cosmetic.
Right, right.
Yeah. Mm.
Okay, okay, Deepak, that's awesome. Also, one more question that I think Nupur is asking here, and I think it's a very interesting question. She's saying that I am not an MBA or an engineer. Can I still be a digital marketer? Because I have genuine interest in digital marketing.
Sorry, I just missed it. Can you
Yeah,
come again?
so yeah. So
Uh,
basically, Nupur is saying that, like, she's not from an engineering background or she hasn't
yeah,
done an
yeah.
MBA, right? So,
Mhm.
but she still has a lot of interest in digital marketing. So, can she, like, aspire to be a digital marketer?
Definitely, because to be very honest, I don't have any background in technical engineering, or I don't have a marketing background, right? And lot of senior digital marketers clearly agree that MBA will do more harm than good if you do an MBA, because you have learned all these things before you become a good digital marketer, right? So that is subjective. Obviously, nothing against the people who have done MBA here, but uh, you don't need to have an engineering degree or a technical background. In fact, if you are shrewd enough, you can become a good digital marketer even after 12th standard. See, gone are the days where people are actually looking at, where you have graduated and what you have, in which discipline you have graduated. Because uh, see, even big enterprise companies have started behaving like startups now, and startups need action takers. Startup need people who have been there, done that, and actually, get things done. So if you look at Wipro, so one of my friend, he's a product manager in Wipro, and you will be surprised to know that Wipro is actually developing a product called Way to Go, and it's an expense management software for SMEs, and it's probably going to be a SaaS product. So even with these very big companies have startup units within their organizations, and they are looking for startup kind of people. And startups always hire people without looking at their background or anything like that, right? So I graduated from civil engineering, not IT, not computer science, nothing to do with computers, but out of just sheer interest and the computer and internet connection at my home, I got into digital marketing because I started my own blog and started growing it. So your education, you should not, it should not let you, it will not interfere with whatever goals that you have. Like, one of the famous proverbs that, Einstein or Mark Twain said, you never let your education interfere with your career goals and whatever you do in life, right? So yeah, graduation, where you graduated. So I graduated from a no name college. If I tell you my college name, nobody is going to recognize it. Not an IIT, not an Ivy League college, nothing like that. So So only see the only from what I have seen from many companies, and when they hire, the only priority they give to people who have graduated from IITs or IIMs is that they have proven themselves to be action takers, and they have proven themselves to be ahead of the pack, because clearing IITG or clearing the CAT exam is not an easy task to do. And that's the only thing that they see as a valuable in an IIT or an IIM graduate, because they have proved themselves to be hard workers. They have proved themselves to be action takers. But if that is the only thing that they are looking at, then the method that I told you about, where you can start your own side project and actually show it on your resume, is actually proving the same thing, that you are actually an action taker, right? So even if you don't have an Ivy League education, if that is the only thing that they are looking at, and if this can prove equally enough that you are an action taker, then it's equal to an IIM or a IIT graduation degree. If you have a side project, and instead of going ahead and doing an MBA, which will probably cost in lakhs, you could actually invest that money in your own side project and bring results, and that would be like far more valuable to a startup CEO or a co-founder than looking at your resume where you have graduated from, right? So yeah, small question, long answer, but again, these are some things that I wanted to cover in the presentation as well.
Great, great, great. Okay, so I think the next question, I'll take Jesly's question. Jesly is saying that, is it possible to earn enough money, example, say 4 lakhs in 1 year, for a professional blogger in a year of single digital marketing or having their own blog? So I think what Jesly is trying to ask is that, what is like, is there a is there an income possibility, and if it is, then what is it like?
Yeah. So when you are talking about blogging or side project as being an income generator, see, one of the biggest mindset issues that I see with most of the people who are trying to become freelancers or trying to become bloggers is that they treat it like a job, and they are like, I will put in enough time of work. I will work for this much, and what would I get in return? But in the real world, it does not work like that, because just like the real world, when you look at online blogging or online opportunities, there are online jobs and there are online business opportunities. When you think about online jobs, then you can think about freelance websites. You can be a designer, a coder. You can take projects, and you can do it online, or you can do content writing on sites like iwriter.com and get money for every article that you write. I know freelance writers who are earning 1 lakh a month, and they charge as much as 5 rupees per word. So if they sit and write 1,000 word article, they actually earn 5,000 out of it, and all they need to do is write 20 articles in a month to earn 1 lakh a month, and that is 12 lakhs a year. And honestly, many of the articles that I publish on my own blog, sometimes I just write the outline, or I don't have the time to go ahead and write the entire article. I have personally paid, being a blogger myself, I have paid up to 3,000 rupees for 1,000 word article to a freelance writer to just get the article finished, polished and finished and get it out. So this is online job. So whenever you are looking at, I want to earn 4 lakhs a year, 5 lakhs a year, 10 lakhs a year, or anything like that, then you should go ahead and do an online job. But when you are looking at an online business and when you are starting your own blog, it becomes a business of its own. And every penny that you withdraw from your business to yourself is an opportunity cost in the growth of your own business. So right now, digital Deepak makes a lot of revenue, quite a significant revenue, but I hardly pay anything myself. So actually, I'm paying half of what I earned in my full-time salary to myself, and I try to be as frugal as possible. It might not look like that because some of my lifestyle expenses is supported by my wife and dad as well, but I try to be as frugal as possible and try to withdraw as less of a money as possible. It's mostly just for the house rent and some of the basic needs like electricity, internet, food, and apparel and things like that. And it takes a lot of time to scale up your business. Like, I have been blogging for 5 years, and you cannot look at it as a job. How much are you earning per year? You cannot look at it like, I make a lot of revenue but I reinvest most of the revenue that comes from my blog back into the growth of my blog. So the blog as an asset, if you think that digital Deepak is 1 crore worth, and as an asset, it is 1 lakh, 1 crore worth of an asset over the past 5 years, then you can technically say that I have probably earned 20 lakhs in equity in the past 5 years, like, per year annually. But again, it's very tricky. It's in the form of an equity. It's locked inside your blog. Unless you actually sell your blog for 1 crore, you're actually not going to realize that money. So when you get into entrepreneurship, there are a lot of tricky things like this. It's very stressful and very taxing. So I would recommend that people who want to go the freelance route or want to earn from home, focus on freelance jobs than trying to start something like a blog. Because in a blog you can't just keep blogging and expect the traffic to show up. You need to invest a lot in paid advertising, you need to invest in design, you need to invest in other freelancers. So start something like freelancing, start making money, invest 20% of your earnings back into your blog or a business or something like that, and see how it scales. And if you are confident enough that it will scale, so what you will start seeing is that the money you put in, you will keep getting it back. And if you build a funnel where you put 1,000 rupees in and you get 1,000 rupees out, and in a period of time it keeps coming back, then you will get the confidence where you can invest more and more money. So right now I invest around 3,000 to $4,000 a month on Facebook ads. But I was really afraid to invest $50 in Facebook ads in the beginning of 2016, because I was afraid I would lose that money. But the confidence to invest so much in Facebook ads came when I kept putting money into the blog and it kept coming out. So you need to start a project where you have some value, you create some value, and you have a product in the back end if you are blogging. Because display ads like AdSense or anything like that is not at all a revenue model in today's world. So you have to treat both of these things in a very different way.
Hmm.
So we will
Great.
just take two more questions, and uh, you know
Yes.
I try to restrict my answers to short answers, but somehow every answer becomes very long because I want it to be exhaustive as possible and useful to everyone here.
Yeah, yeah. Also, Deepak, like, by while answering, you've also like answered some of the other questions that people are having as I'm reading
Yes.
them, right? So one
Mm.
interesting question that Prasanna has, and I think a lot of people have been asking this question is that, like I come from a mainframe background, so basically a tech background, and I have 14 years of work experience, right? How will I fit into digital marketing roles? I think a lot of people are having these, mindset problems right now. So how would you think about this?
See, 14 years of work experience is quite a long time. And unless you are totally invested and totally ready to, risk your time, money, and, to energy to learn digital marketing and get into this field, if you are like, half decided, don't get into it. Because by 14 years, you would have gained quite some experience in your own field. And it would be recommended that you continue and try to specialize and upgrade your skills in that field. But if at all that field is outdated and if your heart is in digital marketing, then here at 14 years of work experience, it could be quite difficult to go ahead and get a top class digital marketing job. Because at 14 years work experience, you are looking at salary ranges of 20 to 25 lakhs in most of the companies. And anybody hiring digital marketers at 10 plus years experience is looking for core digital marketing experience of at least a few years, right? So this could be quite challenging. I will not lie to you from what I have seen in the market. But what you could do is that at 14 years of work experience, you would have quite some money saved up. That much I can tell you. So whatever side project that you do, go ahead and do the same thing, but also invest money in it, right? You can show some numbers in it, and try to brand yourself. So here at this level of experience, what I would say is that first of all, see, without knowledge you are not going to get anywhere. So that is the basic hygiene. See, I will tell you what I would do if I were in your position, right? Let's say I graduated from civil engineering field. Let's say I am a site construction engineer, or senior engineer in a big construction company or something like that. And let's say I have 14 years work experience, and let's say the whole construction economy has come down and there is no future in it. And if I have a lot of interest and knowledge in digital marketing, personally what I would do is that, so this is a bit of high stakes thing, but what I would do is that I would go ahead and self publish a book. This book need not take years to write. It could take as low as 1 month to write and as less as 30 hours. It need not be perfect English, but I would go ahead and self-publish a book for myself. And I would write it either on the broad topic of digital marketing, or I would write it on specific topics like maybe email marketing or social media marketing, using my own experience which I have done with my own projects. So this self-published book could be as low as 120 pages or 130 pages. It could be, something like less than 50,000 words, and it need not be perfect. So I have a very big blog article on how to self-publish your own book on Digital Deepak. You could just Google it. So there is this workshop called "How to Publish a Book and Grow Rich." So I will also share it on the chat window right now. So it's a 4,500 word article, and it completely gives you every step all the way up to getting your ISBN number and getting the book self-published. And each copy will cost only as much as 100 rupees to publish. And go ahead and go back, follow the same method which I talked about in this webinar. Go ahead and mail this book on postal mail to the people or to the companies where you want to get hired. And how many people do you think walking into an interview with their book in their hand? As soon as you become a published author, the way that people perceive you is on a completely different level. Like, for example, I have not published a physical book yet, but when you saw that I have written and published a book on Amazon, which is only 26 pages long, you see me as an author. And in general, when we look at authors, we look at them like scientists, teachers, or people who are like having PhDs or anything, something like that. So the perception goes up tremendously. And at 14 years of work experience, you might have to invest a little bit more energy on personal branding and developing that aura around you that you are the right person for the job. But if you are ready to put in that kind of work, then definitely people will be ready to hire you. So that much I can say. I
Great,
hope that
great.
helped.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was very enriching. So, like, I think we'll take like one last question, Deepak, and I think like here
Mm.
probably I would also like to like hit the answer here as well. So Veda is asking that how far DM certification courses helps us in getting DM jobs. So, Veda, like I'll be very like upfront with you. Over the last 6 to 8 months, we have had more than 300 students in our digital marketing program, right? And like there have been a few of them who have actually gotten successful transitions into jobs, right? But at the end of the day, I think what really matters, and I think Deepak sir mentioned this upfront, is that how much of effort do you give, right? And at the end of the day, there are a lot of certification courses out there, right? You can take your call in terms of what is free.
Neil,
Yeah, sorry.
I have a very good
You have
answer to this.
sure, perfect.
So
Go ahead.
I will probably give a better answer,
Sure, sure.
because this is something that I have tried to answer to a lot of people. And a lot of people have an hesitation investing in education or investing in
Yeah.
courses. And ironically, somehow people are okay investing lakhs in an engineering degree or an MBA where you get to go to an university. But again, I think most of us would agree that when we joined college, it we did not pay lakhs to the college for the education. We paid it for the atmosphere. We paid it to be in a community. We paid it to get friends, and we paid it to just be in college, right? Not for the education. So so leaving that aside, when you think about how much do courses or how much do information products or guidance helps, see, Indians, we have come a long way, but we still have a remnant of conservatism, because less than 100 years we were still under the British rule. And our parents grew up with our grandparents who have probably been inside a conservative India, and only as early as 1991 we got globalized, right? So so Indians as general, our fathers, unless there is a few exceptions here, most of our dads and most of our parents lived in an atmosphere where they were happy to just have a job and have the food on the table and have security and protection. And staying in that conservative mindset, our parents have developed a lot of frugality, and that is also there in us, where we always think twice, we always bargain, we always think twice thrice before putting our money in anything, right? But somehow, the recent generation, slowly the conservatism links is getting delinked, and we have started spending on experiences like, restaurants, going out, vacations, iPhones, gadgets, laptops. But all these things are very tangible, and information products and education products is the least tangible thing, because it's just bits and pieces of information online. You cannot hold it. So by nature we hesitate a lot to spend money on it, and that's definitely a mental block that many people have, right? We don't spend on it that much. But I will tell you why spending on information is actually going to help you. See, if you are just out of college, or if you are in college in final year, you have plenty of time. You don't need to invest in education, because you have plenty of time to experiment and learn. And all the information that you need is already out there on the internet. It's there on Wikipedia, YouTube. You can spend hours and hours together and actually become a master. So personally, I never learned digital marketing from any course, right? I just went ahead and learned it on my own by searching and everything. But right now what you have to see is that, do you have that luxury of time? If you already have a lot of commitments, parents, family, wife, things like that, and if you are low on time, so what you are basically paying for is basically a roadmap, right? It's like, let's say you want to go from Bangalore to Chennai, and let's say you have this satellite image of the whole earth in Google Earth. That's not going to be actually be useful for you, right? So similarly, the information that you have all the information out there, but it's not organized. You don't know point A to point B and point B to point C. But instead of a Google satellite image, if you have a Google Maps image, which has far less information. So if you go to maps.google.com, you have two views, right? You have satellite view, which shows the greenery and everything, which actually has more detailed information. It takes longer to load, but you don't want that. You actually want less information, but you want a guided information where you put from point A to point B, how do you go, and Google gives you a path, it gives you time, and the entire thing actually has less information than the satellite imagery. So that's what you are paying for. You are paying for less information, but you are paying for actionable information, which is going from point A to point B. And another small thing I want to relate to is that, see, I recently bought something called Tile. So this Tile is a small device which costs 1,000 rupees per piece. But this is a small device which I can connect it to my keys, my headphone pouch, my backpack, and everything. I bought nearly 5 6 of those, and I have just put it on, connected to all these things. So 2 3 keys are connected with it and everything. And most of the people around me cannot justify that I spent 1,000 rupees for a gadget. So basically what this Tile app does is that it connects to my phone on Bluetooth, and if I click it on my phone, it rings. And I also use it in my checked in baggage while I am flying, because I'm always paranoid if the checked in baggage actually got it into the plane cargo, or whether it's in the plane or not. But if I put this, I can get inside the plane and it connects via Bluetooth, and I know that my checked-in baggage is right inside my flight, right? So here most of the people can't get around to the fact that, my wife, my parents can't get around to the fact that I actually spent 1,000 rupees on a gadget for this. But it technically actually makes a lot of sense, because the amount of time and anxiety I save from time to time searching for my keys is greatly reduced. And if I value my time as, let's say, 500 rupees per hour, or let's say 1,000 rupees per hour, so calculate the amount of hours you work per month, calculate your salary, divide it, and find out what is your time value per hour. And then you try to go ahead and add all these 5 minutes, 10 minutes I spend time searching for these keys. It could easily be, 1 hour or 2 hour per month, because I keep losing my keys often. I just keep it somewhere. Then it easily pays for itself, right? It's like the battery lasts for like a year, and then you just pay 1,000 rupees for it. It completely makes business sense. So that's time saved is time earned, and time is money. So money saved is money earned is something that we all say, right? So these coaching programs, whatever, whether it's low cost coaching programs, high cost coaching programs, basically give you less information. They give you actionable information, and they save you time from getting you to from point A to point B. And this is something that it is completely optional. If you have the luxury of time, you don't need to invest it. But if you value your time, then definitely you need to invest in these courses, even though it might feel counterintuitive right now. that it's not tangible, you are paying for it, but again, it's all about the time that you save. So how did you like the answer, Neil?
Wow, yeah, okay. Hats off. And I'm going to check out this tile thing and I'm going to buy like three, four of them like right now. I'm sold of this tile thing. Awesome, awesome.
It's there on AliExpress.
Ah, got it, got it.
So
Yeah,
so
man,
you
even
can buy it for
like
cheap.
yeah,
Yeah,
for keys
Amazon.
and
Yeah,
stuff, it's yeah, yeah,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
great.
yeah.
Okay,
Completely
okay.
helps.
I think that's like an amazing way to like answer that question. I think that was brilliant.
Mhm.
Okay, so thanks a lot, Deepak, for taking out your time and sharing some insights around how a lot of us who are in the IT field or in relevant fields might want to shift to digital, right? And for all you guys who like did not catch the entire part of the webinar, right? The recorded version of the webinar will be shared with you on mail, right? So please have a look at that. If any of you are interested in the digital marketing program that UpGrad has, you can check it out as well, right? And if you have any kind of questions related to digital marketing careers, do share it with Deepak sir or do share it with us on digitalmarketing@upgrad.com. So thanks a lot, Deepak sir. We really hope to have you for many more webinars to come, right? And yeah,
Oh,
that's a wrap from my end.
awesome.
Great,
Awesome. Thanks a lot for organizing this, and I hope
perfect.
the audience also had a very good time. And one question regarding tile. So I bought one set of tiles from Amazon.com, and Amazon.com ships to India, and the overall cost that you pay is around $15 to $20 per tile. And then you can buy it on AliExpress as well, where you get it for cheaper cost from China, but it's still the original one. And there are many alternatives for the tile as well. So anyway, that's not the main topic of the discussion anyway.
Right. But I think,
Godwin,
yeah, yeah, you can share the link with Godwin.
yeah, yeah.
Or you can,
I will share the link again on the chat. So
please do.
basically, it's a book worth 500 rupees, which is selling on Amazon, and you can get it for cheaper cost from China. So guys, any feedback about this, you can just leave it in the chat window right now, and we will basically say bye and all the best for your marketing career.
Yes, perfect. And all of you guys, like with all of your chat, questions, we might not have been able to answer all of them, but we'll definitely get to you on mail, right? And if you have any queries regarding the program, as Madhukar has, please check out UpGrad's digital marketing certification program. Perfect. Thanks a lot, guys. Bye. Bye, Deepak. Thanks a lot for
Thank you.
coming
Bye
for the
bye.
webinar. Yeah. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.